Welcome to the Mouse Bros podcast. Hi, I'm Ryan.
And I'm his brother Randy. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram at the Mouse Bros. We'll be releasing new episodes every Friday, so make sure you subscribe to get the latest podcast. If you have any suggestions for upcoming shows or just want to say hi, you can email us at mousecabrospodcast@gmail.com.
If you're planning your next Disney destination or Universal Orlando vacation, you're going to want to reach out to me, Ryan Noppinger, with Capture the Magic Vacations. You can reach me at ryan.noppinger@ctmvagent.com. This is a no-cost-to-you service to use me as your travel agent. I'll make sure you get the best vacation package or deal for your whole family. I can also help make dining reservations and plan fast passes to make planning your Disney vacation less stressful and more magical.
On today's episode, we are talking about our practically perfect day at Epcot. We'll each go through 3 attractions, 1 quick service, 1 table service, 1 snack, 1 show, 1 meet and greet, and 1 shopping experience. So, Ryan, you just got back from a trip from Disney.
I did.
Yeah, how was that? Was that fun?
It was, well, I mean, of course, any trip to Disney is better than a day at home or going to work.
I'm jealous.
I would imagine. Rained. I mean, some days it rained a pretty good portion of the day. Sometimes it was like that Florida rain where it just rained at, 2, 3 o'clock, and that was it.
And it was like hard rain for that little amount of time.
Yeah, torrential downpour.
Yeah. But then after that, it was like it didn't even rain.
Yeah, no rain at all. Yeah, after that.
And this was actually, this was your first trip with your new camper?
Yeah,
right?
with the camper. So, wonderful trip. But, as you know, in our past trips driving down to Disney, it was only like from here to Disney is 14 hours nonstop. So maybe it took us like 16 hours, give or take, filling up. And most of the time we can do it in one day.
Right.
And just be exhausted when we get there, but it's Disney.
But it's like worth it because it's the excitement.
Exactly. We took 2 days to get down, 2 days to get back. And it was pretty much like 10 hours of driving each day. I think 1 or 2 of the days was probably pushing like close to 12 hours.
Yeah, just because of the camper, just because it's so heavy, it weighs you down, you get less gas mileage, you got to stop a lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
But overall, it was a great experience with the camper. That was kind of, nerve-wracking, but I would do it again, but probably not until next summer or maybe spring. So not for a while. I'll just keep the camper around here for.
Sounds good.
But that doesn't mean I'm not going back to Disney.
Just not taking the camper with you.
Yeah. Well, how about you? How are you? Not that you've gotten back from a trip, but how are you?
Well, the day that we are recording this, the dates came out for 2020.
Yes, they did. And what other vacations do you have coming up?
So we are taking a big vacation in January with our, with like all of our family, with everybody. So that's going to be fun. But then in April is our honeymoon. Yeah. Mine and Katie's. So that's going to be fun.
Did you have a travel agent that you booked that through?
We did. And shout out to our travel agent.
Wow.
Did a great job.
He must have been absolutely wonderful.
He did wonderful. I would recommend him to everybody.
Well, you heard it here on the Mouse Bros podcast. And who are you recommending? Oh, me.
Yeah, it's you, right?
Oh, okay.
It's you.
Anyway, I thought it was somebody different.
It's fine.
But it is me with Capture the Magic Vacations. Contact me today for your free quote, and let's start planning your Disney vacation. But enough of that, because you already heard that ad. Let's get right into, I guess, our 3 attractions first. And I'll start off. So
sounds good. Let's do it.
We're at Epcot. So my first attraction to do on my perfect day, I think you would agree, I would hope you have this on your list, Spaceship Earth.
Okay.
I mean, it is the flagship attraction of Epcot and a complete symbol of the park.
Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely.
Hands down.
Like, you literally cannot pass this attraction.
Literally, you have to pass under it. Well, unless you go through International Gateway, and then you don't have to go under it or through it.
Okay, but 9 times out of 10, you have to pass it.
Yes, yeah. And to me, it's an absolute must-do. Basically goes through the whole entire history of kind of the intervention, communication, and technology of really like decades like of stuff. I mean, even more than decades, like centuries, of cavemen writing on walls to right now where I can just FaceTime you. Like,
yeah. And I think back on just like all of the quotes that the ride brings. We have so many times that in our natural day conversation that we just will quote the ride, or like when she says papyrus, like that, we quote that so much.
Yeah, or thank the Phoenicians, and then not even us quoting it, but then all of the now merchandise that they've come out with.
Yeah,
the hat, like oh gosh, what I think it's a hat. I speak Phoenician, I think is the shirt, or no, I think that's the hat, and then the shirt is like, if you're reading this, thank the Phoenicians or something.
Yeah, something like that.
If not,
so that's
that
cool.
Should be a T-shirt we come out with. We should hop on that bandwagon, faux show. So my first attraction, absolutely, Spaceship Earth. I mean, it's an absolute top winner.
Yeah. So what's your second attraction?
So my second attraction is Soaring Around the World.
Nice.
Nice. I absolutely love this attraction. And I feel like you're going to be questioning my 3 attractions and not having one of them on there, but I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah, let's talk about what we're on right now, number 2.
So Soaring Around the World, the 180-degree, 80-foot IMAX, digital screen, it just absolutely breathtaking, especially when they had Soaring Over California. That was absolutely awesome, but now the Soaring Around the World it seems like it fits Epcot way more than just like California did.
Right, it's like that much better.
Yeah, it's definitely that much better. And on it, you get to see places like the Great Wall of China, the Great Pyramids of Egypt, and the Eiffel Tower. And yes, you can go to the China Pavilion at Epcot, but this is like, I guess, like a more in-depth, like kind of leeway into World Showcase, which I kind of like. Which, am I just going on to my third attraction? Because it's...
Yeah, well, yeah, you're going to do all 3.
It's also in this pavilion.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
your third attraction?
Hold on, I just felt my wife's eye roll really hard. So it is Living with the Land. And I'm probably going to get a talking to because my wife really doesn't like this ride, but I drag her on it anyway. She loves me very much.
So why is Living with the Land, though, on your list as top 3? If you can only do 3 attractions,
I know.
Why is Living with the Land on there?
Really, to me, it comes down to I really, really enjoy the Land Pavilion overall. That Living with the Land attraction is in, and Soaring Around the World, and later is even more why I like this pavilion. But anyway, I just like that it's a boat ride. Into greenhouses that they served food from at the Land Pavilion. Like, to me, that just says Epcot.
Yeah, okay. Like that,
kind of
the education.
Kind of living with the land. No, okay. But in that sense, I mean, how many times do I go on it and I'm like, it's weird to say that I see something new, but it's like, okay, what are they growing in a Mickey now? Like a giant lemon, and like it's like Mickey shaped, or
I got you.
Or I don't know, like a tree or something like that, a new plant that they're growing that is shaped like Mickey, which is really, really, really cool. I'd also like the first scenes in the ride that they're like really, really elaborate, like the rainforest scene or like the desert and stuff like that. Those are kind of cool scenes and kind of get you prepared like for the rest of the ride and like the history of farming.
Yeah,
I mean, it pretty much is.
Fun fact, those scenes were built for a different attraction, and then that attraction got budget cuts, but they already had all of this stuff, so they kind of just molded it around to Living with the Land. So That's a fun fact.
Fun fact. You've heard it here on the Mouse Bros. Mouse Bros fun facts.
I don't know if Living in the Land would be on my top 3, but like how I made my list is I went through all of the attractions and just made like a list of 7 of the attractions I do at Epcot. And I will say that Living with the Land was on that list. It didn't make my top 3, but I can absolutely understand that it would make your top 3.
I really, really enjoy this whole entire pavilion of the land because you can do so much in it and still have the rest of Epcot to explore. I mean, there's 2 attractions in it. There's the new kind of nature movie that's coming that's replacing the Lion King movie, which that will be interesting to see.
Yes.
So, not only then will it be 3 attractions that you can kind of do, it's also then a food court eatery, which...
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we get into food, let me do my attractions. So my first attraction, Spaceship Earth. It's something that it's one of those rides that no matter how many times you ride it, it doesn't get old. You can ride it constantly, multiple times. The soundtrack is fantastic. The education behind it, where you're kind of learning of how the time works.
How the time works. Yeah. Like communication and technology.
Yeah, communication. I couldn't think of that word.
I know. How far it's come.
Yeah.
Like since then.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's absolutely incredible.
No, and we learn history, but we joke about it now, but it's history.
Yeah.
We say all the time, oh yeah, you can thank Tiffany or papyrus. But those are all actual things that have come up through history that we have.
Right. And when papyrus was made, it was ridiculous. But now it's just a joke. But it's really cool.
Yeah.
All right. My number 2 attraction is Soarin' Around the World. Again, you kind of already said it. The soundtrack behind it, the feeling you get when you're flying over all of these places. It's something that just hasn't been done, or if it hasn't been done as well as Soarin' Around the World. There's a reason that it's in both parks and isn't going away anytime soon.
Yeah, no, and I think it's not going anywhere because they switched it to
Soarin' Around the World.
Around the World.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
My only qualm is that I wish it was placed in, I wish Soarin' Around the World was the gateway to...
Yeah, at International Gateway.
Yeah, you had to ride that to get to the countries. Or, you had to at least walk around it to get to the countries.
Yeah.
I understand why that can't happen, and it would be really dumb if that was the thing, but, that's how I view it. You ride Soarin' Around the World, and then you go to the countries and explore.
I know. And... I wish Disney, I guess, did that more, as an option. Here's this attraction, and then, more of a leadway into a World Showcase, which would be totally cool. But they didn't definitely do that with Star Tours and Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah,
and they easily could have done that.
Right. I mean, they were redoing that park anyways, and they've already closed plenty of attractions in that park.
The park,
so
more than
why not just close another attraction and redo the area?
Yeah, exactly. And and to incorporate another attraction that Disney World would have that I guess Disneyland wouldn't, because their Star Tours is in Tomorrowland.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So my 3rd attraction, and I don't think this will come as a surprise to you, American Adventure. It is just one of the best shows. It's kind of like that Spaceship Earth. You get to see the history side of it. And, we may joke about it or, we quote it, but you do get to see the adventure of America and how we became a country today. And it just makes you proud to be an American. Ruben Stutter. You know what I mean? It's a really good show. It's done very well.
And I totally get why you said that. And I think why it's at least one of your favorite attractions is I think because we did the tour.
Right. And we get to see, we talk about it.
Behind the
every time
scenes.
we talk about this attraction, we always bring up our tour.
I know.
But getting to see how it works, it just added that much more.
Yeah. But would another attraction, if you got to see backstage and behind the scenes of it, would that then become your new attraction? I feel overall for any attraction, if you saw how it worked, you'd have a more appreciation for it.
I disagree. And here's why. Because you can go I mean, maybe because it's YouTube, but like you can go on YouTube and look out Tower of Terror and how it works. And we even saw the like the Tower of Terror car as it was being worked on our tour. But like Tower of Terror still isn't like the end all be all attraction. Like I loved American Adventure before seeing the backstage tour of it. Like the song at the end, like I play that song on my phone and like listen to that song. So I think it's just like a very, very well done attraction.
Do you wear your patriotic underwear when you listen to
At
it?
least 3 times on a trip to Epcot.
Okay.
It's kind of weird. A little too much information.
TMI.
All right. Well, let's move on to food.
Actually, before you do,
Oh.
I think it's kind of an interesting point that we both didn't put test track.
Okay. Okay.
I
Let's go on this
wanted
topic.
to bring
I
it
like
up.
that. Yeah. Go ahead.
I thought you were like really passionate about it.
I'm pumped up now.
I guess why I didn't put test track on it is because I don't know if it had been the original, and we've talked about this before, but had it been the original test track, how it was on opening, when the test track opened, it probably would have been on my list. I am not a huge fan of the new one, even though you get to customize your car and everything like that. It really doesn't, do anything for me. As far as like, oh, my car was ranked number, 250 out of 300 or, whatever. It's still the same track of test track, which I get they couldn't change that, but adding kind of a new experience on it looks cool from the outside, but once you do it like, twice or a couple times, it's like, eh.
And here's why I think that you have that feeling is because it doesn't have the realistic aspect to it. Soaring around the world. Obviously, you cannot soar around the world. But the places you're soaring to are real, right? Mission space. Not everyone's going to be an astronaut. But there are such things as astronauts. Space exploration is getting bigger and bigger every day. So future world, while it is, the future, it's not unrealistic. Test track, you can make cars that would never be a thing. Like you can have cars that have tires that aren't even like invented yet.
Yeah, I feel like I'm at like a Hot Wheels attraction, and I'm like, oh, make your own Hot Wheels car and then see how it does on the track.
Right.
But then you happen to be like on the track, like in your car that's not your car at all.
Right,
like,
and that's the feeling. Like the old test track, it had that realistic aspect that, yeah, when they make a new car, they have to actually test it. They have to crash a car to make sure the safety features are there. They have to put it through this extreme, conditions to make sure the car withstands.
Absolutely.
And it was realistic. And it was like, oh, okay, this is
you get to be the
real.
test dummy.
Yeah.
And kind of that
but
funny.
But like now, it's like you said, it has that Hot Wheels plus like a little bit of the Tron. It just doesn't feel realistic.
If I was like 10,
it'd be cool.
I'd be all over it. You know what I mean? I mean, I am like a kid now, but that's not the point. But, if I was actually 10, I would probably be like all over this attraction. Like, oh my gosh, I get to design a car and then go test it and then, beat little Jimmy down the street because my car is better than his type of thing.
What do you mean you would beat little Jimmy down the street? Like you would beat him up down the street?
My car is better than his.
Oh. Why has it got to be little Jimmy? How come it can't just be like Dave, like an old guy? Why has it got to be little Jimmy?
Like if I was 10.
But you kind of are.
I kind of am 10. Don't answer that.
All right.
Anyway. But yeah, I just think that's an interesting point to bring up that test track wasn't on it.
But that's not saying that it's a bad ride.
Yeah, exactly. We just wouldn't do it on our perfect day.
Right. If we only could choose 3 attractions. Yeah.
That would be it. Yeah. I just wanted to bring that up because I thought it was
absolutely
good to talk about because it is an attraction that people do enjoy and like.
And I think it's kind of interesting too that the attractions that we did put aren't necessarily thrill attractions. They're more of the nostalgic feel.
Absolutely. So and I think that's what carries Epcot to be Epcot.
Yeah.
Now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Which
all right.
They're going to embrace.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice. All right, you ready to move on to food?
I am now ready to move on to food.
All right. Well, let me go first on this. So let's just start with quick service. Mine is the Sunshine Seasons.
Wow.
And let me just say this, and then you can say whatever you have to say.
Okay.
Mongolian beef and strawberry shortcake. You can now go.
Okay, so mine, you're never gonna guess.
What is it?
Sunshine Seasons.
No way.
And it's Mongolian beef. I don't know why we like this so much. I really have no idea why we enjoy it so much.
It is probably the best quick service. The Mongolian beef is probably like the best quick service food you can get out of the 4 parks.
Yeah, and I think it's because it's different, and really that's like the whole entire way with Epcot, right? Especially for their quick services. You know, Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, your quick services are going to be like burgers, chicken tenders,
fries.
Yeah, fries, stuff like that. But then when you get to Epcot, you have this entire realm of cuisine that, you know, pretty much all of the countries have a quick service or some type of cart, snack, sit down at them that you can eat so much. But the Mongolian beef will always stick out to me on a perfect day. I will say, as an honorable mention, the fish and chips are really, really good. Not that you can have them because they're not gluten-free, but they are very, very good, and they are at the UK Pavilion. But on my practically perfect day, we would both enjoy the Mongolian beef, absolutely, with strawberry shortcake. Now, I will say, because I can't remember if I got it we may have gotten it on our last family trip, but when I went in July and got this, because I needed it in my life, the strawberry shortcake was different, and it wasn't as good.
Well, I think they changed it a while ago.
Yeah. It's not what it used to be.
No, but the Mongolian beef, like I've even gotten Mongolian beef at P.F. Chang's in
and
our local mall.
Yeah, and hopes that it would be that good.
Exactly.
But
it's like not. It's just not the same.
Yeah.
So
I will say too, as far as like dessert, like other good desserts, the creme brulee and the Mickey Oreo cheesecake are also really, really good there.
Facts. We spit nothing but facts here.
I know. Well, we don't. You know, we know where to eat. We know how to eat.
That's right.
Mom taught us well.
Right in the belly.
Yeah. Mom taught us.
Mom taught us
to order out.
That's right.
Just kidding. We love your home cooked meals.
Sure.
So,
all right. So moving on to table service, you can take this one.
Is it going to be the same again?
No, it will not.
No.
I think I know what yours is.
Okay.
But you will not guess mine.
I know. All right. So mine is Via Napoli. Oh, and he didn't smile, so that's a good sign.
Yeah.
So mine's Via Napoli, and I know there's a lot of places to eat, but my favorite thing here specifically is the pizza. They actually have a pizza restaurant in Disneyland and kind of New York City that also, in the one in New York City, has received like Neapolitan like pizza rewards, which is, I guess, interesting. And I say they kind of run a restaurant in Disneyland. It's actually it's the Patina Restaurant Group. And who they are, they actually have a couple different restaurants around Walt Disney World. To name a few, Enzo's Hideaway, Maria and Enzo's, Morimoto Asia, the Edison, and then actually they'll be operating the new restaurant coming to Epcot right next to Mission Space. The cool. Space Theme restaurant.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they're all kind of run by the Patina Group. Now, I will say, like, I really only enjoy the pizza at Via Napoli. And I say that again because, like, I've been to Maria and Enzo's, and it's not that good.
Okay. Like the pizza's not as good?
I think I had lasagna, and it...
oh, okay.
Yeah,
I got
it wasn't good.
I understand.
Yeah. I haven't eaten at Morimoto Asia, even though like I'd be interested to, just because it's not like Italian. It seems like a lot of their places have to do with Italian.
Yeah.
But we've eaten at the Edison, and
it was good.
The decor, absolutely really, really cool. But the food, at least to me, wasn't like anything like, oh my gosh, I have to go back.
No, it was good. It was good though. It wasn't bad food.
Yeah, and I guess it's because it's at, Disney Springs. If I'm at the park, I'm going to probably mostly stay at the park.
At the park, right.
Unless I do like a whole Disney Springs day.
Or something,
and then
or like
might
your first
consider.
night or something. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So mine's just Via Napoli, specifically just for the pizza, really.
I can completely understand why it is on your practically perfect day, but we all know why I do not like it because
The gluten-free bread.
yeah, it's not Disney owned, so
Right.
they're not as
Accustomed to you.
Yes,
Yeah.
and which is fine, which I understand. Some restaurants aren't. So my restaurant, and I have not eaten here, so it's pretty interesting that it's on my practically perfect day, and I see you starting to think.
I mean, I get it. I mean, like, it's a cool thing to, like, if you haven't eaten there, your practically perfect day would be to eat at a restaurant that you haven't eaten at.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I get it. Okay.
And it is the San Angel in Ristorante.
Oh, you picked there?
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. But go ahead.
Well, one, I really like Mexican food. That's probably my favorite type of cuisine. So that's already a check there.
Mostly because they can do a lot of things gluten-free.
Right, but I also like the spices. Like I like the taste of the cuisine.
Yeah.
I like that it is inside the pavilion. I know the other restaurants are in their pavilions, but since this is in the Mexico pavilion, like inside the temple, it's pretty cool that no matter what time of day it is, it's always night there, and it really gives you that kind of Mexican feel, as if you were in Mexico.
Yeah, that authentic.
Authentic.
Feel,
Authentic.
Like,
That's the word I was
of eating
looking
like
for.
in the middle of a market. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I really like that feel. Really like that aesthetic. I also like that you do have the volcano and temple inside, and that the attraction kind of goes right next to the restaurant. It's just a really cool feel. It's kind of like the feel of the restaurant in Disneyland, which is escaping me.
Yeah, I can't remember. I just tried to look it up, but I can't remember. It
Louisiana Blues or something like
something Bayou.
The Bayou.
Yeah.
So I really like that it kind of has that feel. We are, I think, planning on eating there for our January trip. I think that's one of the places that we would like to eat. If not, then we're definitely eating there on our honeymoon.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm really excited to eat here. But on my practically perfect day, that would be my restaurant.
I think at least I've eaten there before, and I mean, like, I like Mexican, and I mean, maybe not like burritos and beans and stuff like that, but like I eat like tacos and the chicken and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So, I mean, to say the least, I eat Mexican, but from what I remember, it's not really standing out. And I can't remember what, of course, we just did the tour around the world, but I can't remember the restaurant that's kind of, when you're walking kind of through, the Mexico Pavilion.
That's on the Bay Lake.
That's on like the lake there, yes.
It's begins with an H.
Is it La Hacienda Inn?
Yes.
Yes, that restaurant. I've actually heard really, really good things about there, and I'd probably more end up eat there first than I would inside the pavilion. Just because I think it seems a lot darker than the restaurant in Disneyland that we've eaten.
Yeah, no,
at,
absolutely.
The Bayou.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, it's a practically perfect
right.
day, so wherever you want to eat. And I think here is an interesting to mention that we both didn't pick like the most expensive place, kind of like in Epcot, which I guess to me would be like the steak place.
Yeah, La Cellier.
Yeah,
because it's not always about money. Like, yes, you do pay for what you get, but that doesn't always mean that it's the best.
Exactly.
So, just take that as you will.
Yeah. Well, moving on to a snack. What do you got for snack?
So, I kind of cheated a little bit with snack.
How did you cheat?
So, I didn't pick one snack.
Wow.
I picked so my snack is alcohol, right? So
okay,
right.
I mean,
it's not like, oh, I would want this specific item as my snack. But the coolest part about Epcot is kind of drinking around the world, because you can go to these different pavilions and get alcohol that you can't get if you just go to like a local bar or something, or like a liquor store. So it's cool to go to Epcot and try different things that are from around the world.
A country-specific drink.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right.
So that's my snack, just because of the whole drinking around the world. I know that's something that we're probably going to do on our honeymoon, is go to each pavilion.
If not in January.
Yeah, if not in January.
If not both.
But that's something that we really want to do, is just take a day and just go through all of the pavilions and just try different drinks, try things out.
So your snack is just alcohol, just in general, not like one specific.
Yeah, just alcohol.
Drink or anything.
Right. Alcohol in Epcot is my snack, because I feel like no matter what, whenever we go to like the German pavilion or like some other pavilion, you're just like, hey, you want to split a beer? Like, yeah, let's split a beer that's from this country, that's native from the country. So that's something that we like.
Yeah. It is a fun experience to kind of drink around the world, and especially when you get a drink that you don't like. I thought I liked the limoncello in Italy. Right. Not.
but it's fun to try those things and find out what you don't like.
Yeah, and spend all your money for it.
I understand, but it's something that
no, it's a new experience,
right?
And
yeah, exactly,
and that's what Epcot is kind of. Again, it's in its DNA.
Yeah.
So my snack, I know there's a lot of snacks around the country that are probably very specific and very good, but I had to throw it in somewhere, and I would probably say this for all of the park snacks, but I'm going to say it here mainly because I like eating it specifically while watching the fireworks, and that is popcorn.
Okay.
I absolutely love popcorn, especially Disney World popcorn. I don't know what it is about Disney World popcorn that's so good, but
it's like the right amount of butter, the right amount of salt.
I can just eat it all. Eat all of it. But I specifically put it here because I really do enjoy eating popcorn while watching Illuminations. And I just did that on our last trip, and I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed it, especially because it's the last time for Illuminations. But no, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, let's just jump right into it for the show, because I assume...
Yeah, no. I mean,
just jump into it.
Yeah, I mean, yes. So the next category is show, and mine, of course, is Illuminations Reflections of Earth, that I enjoy eating my popcorn while watching, and especially even more because it's my favorite show, that it's taking its kind of final bow. I don't know if fireworks bow, but if they were, the last show is on September 30th, 2019. So that kind of feeds into even more why I would want to see it, my practically perfect day, now. It's just a fantastic fireworks show.
Yeah, absolutely. That is also my show, is the fireworks. I think the biggest thing is the meaning. And you may not understand the meaning, and that's fine. It's a little more abstract because it's fireworks. So you're probably even listening to this, you're like, what? There's a meaning behind fireworks. They just don't shoot them off at different times to music. But, around the lagoon, there is 20 different kind of pillars of fire. And when the globe comes out, it's the 21st pillar that lights up, kind of that we are in the 21st century. Like, we are all here. We are living. We are now. But like that, it doesn't necessarily stop there. That it goes on. We go on.
We do go on.
So there's a really just a strong meaning behind it. And the fact that somebody can come up with that, with a thing that just explodes in pretty colors, is absolutely...
It means so much on the back end, not just, yes, fireworks are cool to look at and watch, but the whole meaning of the show is what really kind of sells it all.
Yeah. I'm sad to see it go. I am happy for the future. I'm excited for the future. Let me say that.
I will say I'm more excited for the immediate future, because coming out then after Illuminations ends is a fireworks show called Epcot Forever that starts October 1st, 2019, to celebrate the past, present, and future of Epcot, which I cannot be more excited for the show. That it seems like, from at least what I've heard, they're taking all of the music and meaning behind Epcot, from the past and what it means now and what it will mean, and combining it all into one show, which I mean, to me, that kind of speaks like, they're gonna throw some type of illuminations
Yeah, something.
in there,
Something.
which will be really, really interesting to see. But everything they're putting into the show, again, very, very music story heavy, will be, top notch, and I cannot wait to see it.
Since it is going to be such a short show, it's like almost interesting that if we see it, are we going to be like, wow, we don't want this show to go either because it's so good? I don't know.
I think we could, especially because the show, I think, that comes after that, and not that we know too much about it, but it's going to center around animation. And just to see the word like animation in Epcot Around World Showcase is kind of like scratch my head about it.
Right.
I get it. Stop interrupting me, man. But I get it because like Coco, right? That speaks like kind of the Mexico Pavilion.
Right.
Ratatouille, France. Like
Frozen.
Norway. Like I get that they can do that. But when you get to other countries, like for the Outpost, you just throw in like Lion King and like, oh yeah, it relates. Or I don't know. I'm trying to think of some other movies that kind of relate to some of the other countries, kind of like directly but indirectly in a way. But I don't know. I don't want it just to feel forced, especially because all of Epcot's fireworks shows has been kind of like this music showpiece for the world.
Yeah.
And I just did it with my hands, like the world.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I think that just sums it up perfectly.
Yeah, no, I can't, practically perfect day, absolutely illuminations, reflections of Earth.
All right. Meet and greet.
Meet and greet?
Here's our meet and greet.
Who are you meeting and greeting?
Who are you meet and greeting? All right, you ask first. So mine, I actually put the Mickey and Pals meet and greet, and then I crossed it off because I thought of something better.
Who?
Sleeping Beauty.
Okay.
I know you're like, what?
We better. But
Just wait for me. Wait for it. I really liked meeting Sleeping Beauty here because we were walking up late one night, and we kind of just stumbled upon Sleeping Beauty in France. And she was like under the gazebo. There was like kind of music in the distance, like magical music, and the gazebo was all lit up. And it was just a really cool experience that you couldn't get going into a building and meeting the Fab Five. And I feel like all the other meet and greets throughout World Showcase wouldn't have kind of this lit up area. Because I feel like once it gets dark, I feel like characters just kind of disappear because they're not in these lit up areas. I know that's like different for some characters, but I just feel like a majority, the characters that are just like you would meet on the street in a random place wouldn't be there at night because it's not like lit up as much. And,
yeah, like she has her own little area.
Yeah, and it was very nice. It was very calming. It was just really cool to meet her.
It almost put you to sleep, didn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay. I mean, I definitely get kind of like the Mickey and what's it called? The Mickey and Pals, Mickey and Friends.
Something like that.
Like, yes, you get to meet Mickey, Minnie, Pluto, and Goofy, right?
Or Donald Duck. I think is thrown in there a little bit.
Maybe. But it feels like very like in a line. Like after you're done meeting Mickey first, you go right to Minnie. After you're done meeting Minnie first, you go right to Goofy.
Right.
Like, yes, you do get to meet all of them, which is great, but it's like very like there's nothing to be like in the moment for a second with each character because they are moving you along. Right.
Like it almost feels like they were like, oh, this is Disney. We need to have the Fab Five in the park somewhere. I guess we can just kind of put them here. So yeah, it just kind of ruined it. And what they kind of took away to make that meet and greet.
Yeah. I totally get it.
That history section that they had of Epcot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is your meet and greet?
So my meet and greet is going to be Baymax.
Okay. I like it.
I know. I do really, really enjoy the Big Hero 6 movie. And even though Baymax doesn't talk in the park, his kind of hand movements and just everything about him still feels very much like Baymax. Like, even though he can't talk like when he does like the fist pound, like he still does that, and like you he's doing it like in his head,
absolutely.
like or you're just doing it by by yourselves, or like I think he can like deflate himself and then like reflate a little bit, but then like he does walk slow. I don't know, it just, I really enjoy this character in the movie because he's funny but a healthcare companion, but also
and like especially since he's so fluffy, like just hugging him is
you can literally just like run up to him and just like hug him, and like you just hugging,
you just get like
what you would feel like Baymax would feel like.
Absolutely. Okay, I like it though. Kind of it's like a unique experience.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I hope they keep him.
All right, so wait, didn't they replace him with Wreck-It Ralph?
No, Wreck-It Ralph, that's in the Imagination Works. After Journey into Imagination.
Gotcha.
In that area.
Gotcha.
Image Works.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there.
All right. So last but not least is the shopping experience.
Where are you going shopping? Where are you spending all that big money?
I apologize so much for how I'm about to butcher this name. I'm going to the Michizuki department store.
Oh, man. Okay. Go ahead.
So why I picked it, I kind of had the same thing. I put Mouse Gears. Mouse Gears is a great store, but it's your generic Disney stuff, your generic Epcot stuff. So I was kind of like, on a practically perfect day, I would really want to like go into a country and get kind of country specific. So I picked this in the Japan pavilion, and maybe it's my nerd in me, but like I really like all of the stuff that's in the front of the store where you have all of that like anime, all the Pokemon, all the Dragon Ball Z. Like I really like that aspect.
Stuff we grew up on.
Yeah, absolutely. And then as you move back, you get to that traditional Japanese.
Where
yes,
I don't know how else to say
like
it,
all the komodos that you can put on and stuff and try on, and then you even get like for past that you get kind of like the traditional Japanese souvenirs. So it's kind of like all of these things in one. Like you get the traditional culture, but also the pop culture of Japan in one store, and I like that.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. So did you write down both on your list?
I did, but I crossed Mouse Gears off.
What was Mouse Gears above?
Yes, and then I crossed it off.
Okay, so for me, I have Mouse Gears on top. I have neither one of these scratched out, but mine is it's Mitsukoshi department store.
That's what it is.
And I have both of them also on my list.
Yeah.
I think through this episode, you can kind of tell that, yeah, we're definitely brothers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we're picking the same exact things, which is actually pretty awesome. But mine for me would be Mouse Gears. Yes, it has everything just like an Emporium at the Magic Kingdom does. But when Epcot has an anniversary or any of the festivals, you can get that specialty merchandise there. Mm-hmm. Or like the pass holder, like they had the Epcot 35th anniversary, and this was 2 years ago now. But that's a place that you could go and buy that specifically for that event, which for me, being a huge Epcot fan, I have to pick Mouse Gears, I think, just primarily for that, in hopes that I find something cool Epcot thing that I haven't seen before, just because I love Epcot. But no, totally my second store. Like if this was closed because they had flooding, it would be the Mitsukoshi department store at the Japan pavilion.
I think this is the best way to kind of explain it. If we're going to shop and buy something, it's Mouse Gears. But if I'm going into a store to look, it's the Michikoshi.
Yeah. No, yeah,
I think that's the best way to describe it.
That's absolutely the absolute best way to describe it, because if I'm going to buy something, I'm going to go to Mouse Gears because I want
Disney. You want Disney. Kind of like the Disney merchandise.
Not that they don't have Disney merchandise. Actually, really thinking about it,
they really don't.
No,
it's
they really don't. It's more the
the
pop
culture
culture of Pikachu and Pokemon and everything like that.
But, and that goes for almost any country. I feel like a lot of countries don't have. They have the pop culture of the country, not necessarily Disney merchandise.
Yeah, they may have one or two things, but it's more Epcot country specific, not necessarily that Disney's country specific. Yes. If that makes sense.
It does to us. That's
anyway,
what matters.
Well, that is our practically perfect day at Epcot. It seems like we would be crossing paths on our practically perfect day.
It seems like it.
quite a bit. It definitely sounds, doable. It's not like we picked anything that's like outrageous that could not be done in a day.
Yeah.
Especially even through like the fast pass tiered system.
Yeah.
I mean, well, okay, think about my 3 attractions. Soaring Around the World is tier 1. And then Spaceship Earth and Living with the Land is tier 2. So you can pick those for your first 3 fast passes.
Right.
And be done with it.
Yeah.
The American Adventure for you doesn't have a fast pass.
Because it's just a show.
Right, just a showtime. So you could pick another one.
All right, relax.
I know. Well, if you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review as it helps us improve the show. And as always, be sure to subscribe to our podcast and follow us on Facebook. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.